We all know that condos in Singapore are not cheap, and if they happen to be affordable, there has to be a bad reason behind it. Searching for an affordable condo in Singapore can feel like searching for a needle in a haystack, especially if you're looking for something near the MRT and working on a tight budget. You might be thinking it's either going to be very tiny or very old, but I'm going to show you that this is not always the case. In this video, we'll be diving into 4 surprisingly budget-friendly condos that are 6 and 9 minutes away from the MRT station. We will walk through each option, highlight what you love, and more importantly, what you may want to take note of. In order to answer why aren't more people buying this, I'll also talk about what I dislike about the units. If you're looking for more unbiased property videos, remember to subscribe. Before we start, some disclaimers as usual. These projects and listings are not guaranteed to be foolproof investments. It is important that you do your own research and due diligence before making a purchase. The first project on our list is The Nest. The Nest is a condo located in Pasir, developed by CDL, Hong Leong Holdings and Hong Realty. The Nest obtained its TOP in 2017. It is situated near Pasir MRT station and White Sands Shopping Mall. This unit that we are looking at is a high floor, 2-bed and 2-bath unit which is 750 square feet and asking for 1.15 million. That brings the asking PSF to 1,527. A quick look at past transactions show the previous transacted PSFs to be around 1.4 to 1.5k for mid-floor units. This unit has a portrait orientation and comes with an open kitchen. In terms of likes, firstly, I like the fact that the project is near White Sands Shopping Mall and Pasir MRT. And secondly, the fact that Pasir MRT will be one of the stations of the upcoming Cross Island line and will be able to connect you to other major interchanges like Ang Mo Kio in 6 stops. I also like the fact that this is a 2-bed and 2-bath unit. And lastly, I like that this is a high floor unit. The first thing that I dislike is that there are many other projects in Pasir, making your competition a little stiffer when exiting. And the second thing that I dislike is the layout of the unit. Despite it being 753 square feet, the unit actually feels very small as I feel that the space is not well utilized. For example, every room has a bay window and the unit also has an outdoor yard, which I feel is very unnecessary. Given the small space of a 2-bed and 2-bath unit, I would much rather be paying for floor space which is usable, such as in the living room, bedroom, or even kitchen, which I feel has been neglected. Overall, this sort of layout is very personal and different people like different things. If this is a layout that you are okay with, then I think that this is a project and unit that is definitely worth considering. In order to address the idea of a cheap condo near an MRT, let's also look at the financials for a $1.2 million condo and see whether this is something that would be comfortable for you. Presently, the maximum loan would be 75% of the purchase price, and that would be 900k for a $1.2 million condo if you can get the maximum loan. The remaining 25% would be the down payment, which works out to be 300k. As 5% of the 1.2M needs to come from cash, that would mean you would minimally need 60k in cash, while the remaining 240k can come from either cash or CPF. Separate from this, you would also need to cover the buyer stamp duty. For a $1.2 million unit, that would be 32.6k. Now back to the loan. If you can take the full loan tenure of 30 years and using the interest rates of December 2024, a 900k loan would approximately result in 3.5k a month in terms of the monthly installment. The question is, do you feel that 3.5k a month is something worth spending on a slightly smaller condo? Or would you rather spend less and get a larger HDB? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, just because you make more than 3.5k a month does not mean that the bank would automatically approve your loan. Your income needs to meet a certain criteria set by MAS, known as the TDSR, or Total Debt Servicing Ratio. If you want to know more about the TDSR, I'll link the video up here. In order to clear the TDSR, you will need a combined income of approximately 7k and above. Now let's move on to the second condo on our list. The Visionaire is an executive condominium located in Sembawang, developed by Qingjian Realty, and it is the only EC on our list. The Visionaire TOP'd in 2018, positioned near Canberra MRT station and Canberra Plaza. It also provides convenient access to public transport and shopping amenities. The unit that we are looking at is a middle floor 2-bed 2-bath unit at 721 square feet, asking for 1.05 million. That brings the asking PSF to 1,456. A quick look at past transactions show the previous transacted PSFs to be around 1.4 for mid-floor units too. This unit has some renovation done up. Renovation can be quite personal, so whether you like it or not depends a lot on yourself. This unit has a portrait orientation and comes with an open kitchen as well. In terms of likes, firstly, I like that it is a 2-bed and 2-bath unit. Secondly, I like that it has sheltered access to Canberra MRT. Thirdly, besides the MRT, there is also a mall, Canberra Plaza, in the vicinity. Lastly, I also like that the PSF is relatively low, making the unit very palatable. This is likely due to the fact that it is an EC and also because of the location, which not many people may be a fan of. In terms of dislikes, there is only one that I can think of. I dislike how there are many other condo projects in the surrounding, which could make the competition stiffer. Overall, this is another project to consider if you're okay with the Canberra area and are looking for a project with sheltered access to the MRT. Most of the units you see today are 2-bed and 2-baths, and I want to talk about that for a bit. While I remove my bias for the location, I will keep my bias for needing a minimally 2-bed and 2-bath unit. Many people might consider opting for just one bathroom because they may think the second bathroom is not really a need, but having a second bathroom can go a long way in making a small unit feel livable as a whole. However, that being said, I've actually included one 2-bed and 1-bath unit into the assessment because I feel that that one is still worth considering. Now you may be thinking,
what if I'm single? Would a 1-bedroom or a 1+ study be a good option?
well, yes and no, but I would say more of a no because of the long-term limitations. Due to the cooling measures that the government has implemented, moving back to a HDB after you buy a private condo would be challenging, as you would have to incur the 15-month wait-out period after selling your condo before you can buy a resale HDB in the future. So what I'm saying is that while a 1-bedroom condo may suit you now, it may not be suitable when you want to settle down, and moving back to a larger HDB would be challenging in the future. Of course, if you're confident that in the future you would be able to afford a 2 or even 3 or 4-bedroom condo, then this may not be such a big issue. But I think another point worth considering is the exit audience for a 1-bedder. Usually the target buyers for a small unit like a 1-bedder are either other singles or other investors like yourself, which greatly limits the buyer pool that you have when you want to exit your 1-bedder condo. So if I were to take a step back, I actually don't deny that a 2-bed and 2-bath condo is actually very small. Of course, in an ideal world, a 3-bed or even a 4-bed condo would be the best. But because we are working with a budget here, this video is about striking a balance between a budget and a livable space if you want to buy a condo. Now let's move on to the third project, which is a 2-bed and 1-bath, which I was talking about earlier. Affinity at Serangoon is located in the Serangoon North area and developed by Oxley Holdings Limited. Affinity at Serangoon obtained its TOP in 2024. The condo is strategically located near major transport hubs, including Serangoon MRT station and the CTE. Nearby amenities include Next Shopping Mall and Serangoon Gardens. The unit that we're looking at today is a low-floor 2-bed and 1-bath unit at 624 square feet, asking for $1.2 million. That brings the asking PSF to $1,923. A quick look at past transactions show the previous transacted PSFs to be around 1.7 to 1.8 for mid-floor units. This unit has some renovation already done up. Similar to the previous unit that we were talking about, renovation can be quite personal, so it depends a lot on yourself whether you like it or not. It has a portrait layout, and like the other 2 units that we saw, it has an open kitchen as well. The first thing that I dislike about this project is that it is only a 2-bed and 1-bath unit. So with Affinity, you get a more central location and a newer project, but you have to compromise on 1 bathroom in order to stick to your $1.2 million budget. The second thing that I dislike is that there are not many amenities around. There are a few shops in the Serangoon North area, but besides that, the next nearest amenity would be the next mall, which is around a 10 minutes bus ride away. The third thing that I dislike is that this unit is not presently directly accessible to an MRT station. Today, before the Cross Island Line comes up in 2030, you will still need to take a bus, either from Ang Mo Kio MRT or Serangoon MRT. The last thing that I dislike is that it is right beside the BTO plot, which is under construction, so there is a good chance you may be disrupted by the noise and the dust. Overall, Affinity at Serangoon is something that I think you can consider if you're under the $1.2 million budget and want something more central, something a bit newer, and something with upside potential. The downside is that you need to compromise on the size, and in the meantime, the MRT. Personally, like I said, I feel that a 2-bed and 1-bath unit is a bit too small, but I kept it here to give you guys the option. So what do you think? Is it indeed too small for your own needs? The last project on our list is the Luxurie. The Luxurie is a private condo located in Sengkang, developed by Keppel Land. The Luxurie obtained its COP in 2015. Strategically situated just a short walk from Sengkang MRT station and Sengkang bus interchange, the Luxurie provides residents with excellent connectivity to the rest of Singapore. The unit that we are looking at is a low-floor 2-bed, 2-bath unit at 732 square feet, asking for $1.15 million. This brings the asking PSF to 1571. A quick look at past transactions show that the previous transacted PSFs to be around 1.4 to 1.5k for mid-floor units. From the photo, the unit doesn't seem to have much renovation done up. It has a portrait orientation, but unlike the others, it has an enclosed kitchen. The first thing that I like about the unit is that it is very close to Sengkang MRT and Campus 1. The second thing that I like is that it is a 2-bed and 2-bath unit. The third thing that I like is that the kitchen in this unit is an enclosed kitchen, which is actually a very personal preference. In terms of dislikes, the first thing that I dislike is the fact that there are many condos in the Sengkang estate. Maybe one consolation point is that the Luxurie is one of the 3 that is walking distance from Sengkang MRT. The second thing that I dislike is the low floor. This is something very specific to the Luxurie, but for 2-bedders here, you have to pick one of the 2 evils. Either pick a low floor unit like this one and have a fairly sized balcony, or pick a high floor but deal with a massive balcony, which increases your floor space and hence your price quantum. Overall, this project is something that you can consider if proximity to MRT and amenities is something that's very important for you. One reason why I feel that the price is still kept reasonable is that because it is in Sengkang, which is a not so central location, and the fact that it is a low floor unit. So this means that you compromise on the less than central location and the low floor, but you don't need to compromise on space, and you still get an enclosed kitchen for $1.2 million. We've explored 4 different projects: the Nest, the Visionaire, Affinity at Serangoon, and the Luxurie. These are 4 projects that you can consider if you are under a tight $1.2 million. So what did you think of these 4 units? Did any of them catch your eye? Or do you still feel that condos in Singapore are too expensive and too small? If you are still undecided between a HDB and a small condo, you can check out my video here. Or if you're looking for tips on choosing a livable condo, you can check out my video here as well.